They broke, they think it's my fault. No car. I want that car. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rafe in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it in my block. Luke Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you cut off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hanging and I'm in that spaceship,
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Big Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The enthusiasm of the Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now, he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he'll be dropped at the 30. And a shifty move got him a couple extra on the play. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. First drive for this offense today, and our first chance to get a look at Tyler Eifert.
And he's part of the new wave of tight ends in the NFL. They use them in every position, sometimes even by themselves as a wide receiver.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. We take a glance now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball for Pittsburgh. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing.
Despite only needing one, Dalton to throw. And that's complete to Croft. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Dalton, 1st and 10. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. The numbers for Eifert in that game last week. 4 catches, 51 yards.
And what we just saw there was exactly what they need against this defense. Big plays. They were able to pick up a first down on that one. Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Dalton gives to Bernard, and he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton, and that's complete to LaFell. And he's got this down to the 35. A Bengal first down, Dalton hitting LaFell. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Now a play fake here on first down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it second down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Dalton. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is third down. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. It's caught. Left side, Brandon LaFell. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're now
zone for the Bengals now. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. They'll run it here with Bernard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Second down, Dalton. Caught, Eifert over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Dalton. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Defensively, they better figure something out. Opening drive, he already has 4 catches.
And if you have to figure out how to stop him defensively, that usually means you weaken your defense. That means that now the offense is doing the dictating, and they should have other things open up as well.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll give it to Mixon. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. Andy Dalton. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive and a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Bullock good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Bullock out now to kick this one away. On the return, Fitzgerald Toussaint. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. Leading them out is the former first-rounder from all the way back in 2004 from Miami of Ohio, Ben Roethlisberger.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. There was no answer for him defensively. Over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns to boot. And
that was a fun film to watch because a few of those runs, it was apparent he was just not going to be denied. And his team is hoping that that carries over to this week as well.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. Ooh, with a juke. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
Well, you think 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
This is caught by Antonio Brown. He got 29 yards that time.
And there's our first glimpse of Antonio Brown in this game, and he's a guy that's a threat each and every time the ball heads in his direction, coming off the 2nd year where he led the league in receiving yards in 2017.
Yeah, 1,533, just turned 30 back in July, and no signs of this man stopping. Vontaze Burfict, the one to get him down. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
A big reason this team led the league in offense, their offensive line. Monster strength. 3 Pro Bowlers last year in Alejandro Villanueva, David DeCastro, and Marquise Pouncey. Kept their quarterbacks upright to throw it downfield and carved a lot of holes for their runners.
Roethlisberger will throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Darqueze Dennard there defensively. And the Bengals starting defensive unit now.
Coming off of 9 sacks and his 6 Pro Bowlers, Geno Atkins, who's an absolute force inside. Not only does he have the ability to wreck a running game because he's able to take out not just 1, but often 2 blockers, his inside presence and ability to rush the passer makes things very difficult for opposing offenses.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Here's Roethlisberger. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
And Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complementary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive, it comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The former Buckeye, Cameron Hayward. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Here's Bernard. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Can't be any better than a perfect 6 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Dalton here from the gun. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So on 4th down, here's a punter, Jeff Locke, to kick it away. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle here to Brown. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carlos Dunlap coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unwalkable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Meanwhile, we will not get another play as time will run out on this 1st quarter. It's a close game here early on. We'll return to Cincinnati after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. They'll begin here with Bernard. They'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. No surprise this offense would be able to convert. They're currently 2nd in the league in first downs, and they pick up 1 here.
Yeah, not a stat that we talk about a heck of a lot, but it's a vital one. And in this case, it's really vital because what does it do? Keeps their defense off the field, gives them a chance to rest.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been outstanding. 7 first downs and 8 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw here, Dalton. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Mixon with a first down carry. Spins past another.
Oh, my man.
And down to the 36-yard line here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Dalton bootlegs out. His throw incomplete. The veteran Morgan Burnett there on the coverage. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little, and when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Bell. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. He's to the 10. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
And there's a man they call AB. Always a volume receiver. He gobbles up catches. Holds a number 2 and number 4 spots for most receptions in a season in NFL history. And in 2015, just 7 catches shy of setting the single-season mark for most receptions, currently held by Marvin Harrison, a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he had 136 catches that year on the heels of 129 the season before. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. Now Bell. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 10-7. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. Boswell on now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails,
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now a carry for Bernard. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen,
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here's Jeff Lapp now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now Brown. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially given 15. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand the bell. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. A give to Bell. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. Dre Kirkpatrick, the cornerback, up to make the stop. Charles, Le'Veon Bell, 26 going on 27, and the shelf life of these NFL running backs seems to be getting shorter and shorter. How long can he go at this torrid pace?
Usually we say 30 is kind of the line of demarcation for a running back. But Le'Veon Bell played all 16 games in 2017, takes great care of himself off the field. I think he's got a chance to break through that 30-year-old mark, and in a big way.
That catch puts him right at 100 yards receiving now, and it also gives him a 1st down. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
The give is to Bell. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now, after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion. But he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Now it's Roethlisberger. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Preston Brown, the linebacker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback. But as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. And he finds LaFell complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Dalton now to pass. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. 1st and 10 for Dalton. And that is incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Dalton. And over the middle, it's LaFell. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Another chance for Dalton. And right side completion here by LaFell. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Dalton going to break the huddle, come up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. This will be Dalton again. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Dalton throwing on second down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And it's third down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Now Bernard. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a fourth down now. Here's Jeff Locke now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin with an interesting one in the AFC. The Chargers heading east to take on Cleveland. And it is the Chargers out in front as those two creep towards halftime. The veteran, Phillip Rivers, with a couple of touchdown passes there. From there, it's over to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, we're off to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Devontae Freeman, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. In the game you've been watching, it was Ben Roethlisberger who led the way offensively in the first half. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game. As we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And his throw is incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The Steelers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
And down he'll go at the 25. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. And they'll go on the ground. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Got his man. It's Eifert. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Here's Jeff Locke now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Making his way back out onto the field now. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up 1st down after 1st down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human 1st down machine? I think that fits.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Baker. Never giving up. He's able to keep working and get him for a loss of 12.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And the Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's Roethlisberger. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Fielded at about the 28. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Dalton on the screen. Bernard evades him at the 20, and they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The gain of 39 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made there by Cody Sensabaugh. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Again, here's Bernard. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give the tackle there to Morgan Burnett.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Third down from the gun. Dalton underneath. This is Bernard. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And Bullock will put this one through, and that will knot us up at 10. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Toussaint now to return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen. They see the blocks happen. They feel really good about their vision. And then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
Roethlisberger now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger to throw. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, Disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Roethlisberger will throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit, trying to run it on 3rd down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
From midfield here, Dalton. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal 1st down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that cat?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Andy Dalton now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They'll run again with Bernard. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati 1st down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of the...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Now Bell, and an alley to run. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. Knotted up here at 10. That's our score as we begin quarter number 4. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carlos Dunlap in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 19 yards that time for number 19. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger flushed out right. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Roethlisberger. He gives it to Brown, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field. Yeah,
it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call run fits, everyone was in the right place.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And he rifles one incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And now it's second down. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation, because second down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. On third and goal, Roethlisberger under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Vontaze Burfict. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up fourth down. So here we go. On now is the kicker, Chris Boswell. This to break our fourth quarter tie. And Boswell's kick is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. That's fielded in the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one, because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He drops it off for Bernard. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. It's second down. Dalton looking. And a right side completion here by LaFell. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Oftentimes, guys who do a really nice job on the wide receiver screen plays are really good punt returners. It's the same skill. Make the first guy miss and then pick up your blocking and get downfield. Nice gain on that play.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A first down throw coming for Dalton. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. T.J. Watt in there to get him for a loss of 5.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Dalton here from the gun. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Dalton, 1st and 10. That is caught inside the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Andy Dalton, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the former 1st-rounder Artie Burns. And nothing there on the return. They got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score, and he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Preston Brown, the linebacker. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find the spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
He'll get it up the middle. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And a big loss here as he's taken down. You thought we'd see pressure. You weren't kidding.
Yeah, I thought that they'd be very aggressive in that type of a situation. And that's what they call getting home, because home is where the quarterback is.
And where the heart is.
And that heart just got shattered in 1,000 pieces.
And Bullock will put this one through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the wideout Antonio Brown. He's north of 150 yards in this game. He's been doing his thing, hasn't he?
That he has, and he's been enjoying himself. And it's the type of game that you get locked into a pretty good groove. May not be record-shattering, but it's the type of game that if you accumulate that throughout a season, you're going to be one of the top receivers in the game.
See how much they incorporate him here on this drive. Here's Bell, and not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Right back to him on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell him, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we're going to have to go for the hot dogs.
And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Scrambling not particularly a Roethlisberger strong suit, but he does get the job done there and gets a 1st. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. He's got it at the 15. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They give him a gain of 38. Well, I guess at the very least they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. They'll run it with Bell. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Second and goal, the lone man in the backfield, Le'Veon Bell. They'll try and run it in with Bell. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Here's Roethlisberger. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This for the lead in the final stages. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they've managed the clock exactly right.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. You got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Dalton to his big target, Eifert for the Cincinnati first. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. They'll look to throw. Caught Eifert over the middle. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Back to throw. And that's complete to LaFleur. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. And he'll spike it here with 13 seconds showing on the clock. And that one is incomplete, and it stops the clock at 12 seconds left in the half. Back to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Pittsburgh, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.